Alright guys, so we replaced the tensioner on this truck, the Nissan Titan. I was really hoping that was my problem. I showed you guys when we pulled that tensioner off and spin the pulley, you could definitely hear it was kind of gravelly. I don't know how that came through in the audio with that heater going. My apologies again. But moral of the story is the noise quieted down a lot, like quite significantly. But it was still there, and I continued driving the truck, and about a week after that, the noise came back super loud, like really loud, and I got nervous that it was something internal to the engine, and I took it to the shop. I've taken this Titan to the shop more than any other vehicle I've ever owned in my life. I don't know why. Something about this truck, man, it just likes going to the shop. So anywho, I take it to the shop. I don't tell them my thoughts. I just tell them, hey, this is what I did. I replaced the tensioner, I replaced the serpentine belt, and the noise went away. Now the noise is back and worse than it was before, and do what you got to do. And they called me back and said, hey, we think it's internal to the engine. We think maybe it's a valve sticking or maybe something with your timing chain, and we're not going to open the engine. Take it to this other shop over here. I'm like, okay. So now I'm nervous. I'm thinking, wow, I'm spending a lot of money on this truck, which is true. I've spent a lot of money on this truck. But I was like, oh crap, now I'm gonna have to find an engine for it, right? Or maybe some heads, or I don't know. So I drive it to this other shop, drop it off. It takes them about a week before they look at it, and they finally look at it, and he calls me, and he's like, hey man, he's like, it's just your alternator pulley bearing, or your alternator bearing on the pulley, alternator pulley. I'm like, no, there's no way. Like, I can spin all of the pulleys and they're all silent. And he's like, under no load they're silent. He's like, you put a load on it and it's really loud. And I'm like, are you positive? And the guy says, why don't you come on down here, listen to it, and we can listen to it at the same time, and let's verify that we're talking about the same noise. Because yes, the noise I hear is your alternator. I'm like, all right, fair enough. So I drive down to the shop, show up, and I had taken a video of the sound, and you guys saw that video already, that clip. And I go down there, and he fires up the truck, and the noise that I'm hearing, he's like, yeah, that noise? I'm like, yeah, that noise. And he's like, yeah, that's your alternator. So I had him replace the alternator, and I just drove the truck to work this morning. It was 14 degrees actually, 14 degrees Fahrenheit on the way to work this morning. Winter is here, and no noises. I'm on my way home from work right now. No noises. So he was right, I was wrong. I'm happy about being wrong. Alternator's way cheaper than engine parts. So that's the story. The tensioner was bad. You guys heard the bearings in that pulley. They were pretty scratchy, but that wasn't the only thing bad. So yeah, that's where we're at, guys. It's okay to admit you're wrong. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay not to know where to go. There's guys that do a living and make a living with fixing problems, and I mean, that's what I do too. I make my living fixing problems. Actually, I make my living trying to prevent problems. That's actually my job, is to try and prevent problems. But my point is, if you don't know, you don't know. There's no shame in asking somebody for help, and there's no shame in paying somebody to do that. That's what they're there for, so that's what I did. If you guys want to stick around and see more of my videos, please hit that thumbs up, the subscribe button, check out my playlist. There's all kinds of them, and thanks for watching.